Blog Talk Radio.
Are you ready to take a bite out of the competition? Are you looking for ideas to make your business better? Welcome to the Core Business Show with Tim Jockey, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. At the core of every successful business, you'll find people making a difference. And with each episode of the Core Business Show, we talk with those people, examine those ideas, and explore the strategies that make them special. Now, the host of the Core Business Show, Tim Jockey.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Core Business Show. I'm Tim Jockey, your host. Today, I have a pleasure of having a recording artist, Casey Jockey. He's going to talk to us regarding his music and his career. If you'd like to join in on the conversation, please dial in at 347-324-3460, or you can post a question in the chat room or email us at info@thecorebusinessshow. Well, Casey, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me here, man. How's everything going?
It's hot in Texas.
Yeah,
it's like the
I could imagine.
here. Well, kind of tell us about yourself. You know, where you from and how you got started.
Well, actually, I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, but I came here at a younger age, resided with my parents, living in Brooklyn, New York. And, I started out a long time ago I was maybe about 2-year-old going to pre-K. I used to do poems and recitals and all that type of stuff. That's how my acting game came in effect with my music. So we just combined it together. Just thankful. It's been a long-term basis, consistent thing, and I'm still doing it. I'm happy.
Wow. So you've been here at a young age. Do you, as a kid, go back to Jamaica to visit family and in-laws? And when you go and visit, is it a big contrast coming from Brooklyn, New York, to back to Jamaica?
Most definitely. I last visited there 2009. They had a homecoming for me because I wasn't there for a period of time, taking care of a lot of stuff overseas and, setting up certain things to be successful later down in life, which is happening right now. So everybody's been happy, everything, I got love from all different angles and everything. So the experience of going back home has always been overwhelming, respectfully nice.
Wow. Kind of tell us what the culture is like, in Jamaica, in the sense of, we're not, the U.S. is the U.S., but when you go back to Jamaica, how do you feel, and how does the community really embrace each other just as a community unit?
Well, in Jamaica, just like everywhere else in the world, you have good and bad, but every negative situation, I try to make as much positive as possible, So I'm mutual. I'm neutral at the same time because I go to all different areas. They call me a negotiator. I'm accepted through the good. I'm accepted through the bad. So I don't really put a quote on it saying who's better from who's not, etc., etc. But the culture is all great. It's just what people do from all different genres of the world to really express. I don't know if I'm getting the point across. The point is the culture is always there, but people do different things with their culture than others.
Mm-hmm. You are. Like, for example, we, usually at one point of the U.S., it used to be like a close community, neighborhoods be extremely close. Now everybody's in their own world. Do you have the feeling like when you go back and to Jamaica, the community amongst each other that really supportive, and you can go there to your neighbor's house and go eat something, and go to the other neighbor house, and you just go down the road.
Some people are like that. I know exactly. Yeah, some people are like that. Some people aren't, because it's like so much. It's the world is getting crazy and crazy as the years go by. We get more elevated and more advanced into technology and all of that. People on a whole period. A lot of people are getting selfish these days. It's not what the olden days used to be. Everybody's for self right now. Back in the days when I was growing up, I could go next door and say, "Hey, Miss Jones, can I have a cup of lemonade, or could I borrow your ketchup or your salt or whatever?" Now these days you can't do that. You can't do it because majority of the people is for self. So that's what we're trying to bring it back right now. I have a song entitled "A Better Jamaica" right now. That was when the election was going on, and if you listen to the words of the song, it has good and bad in it, because we don't try to sugarcoat anything. We tell it like it is, or don't say anything at all. And we can't be hypocritical being artists. The artist that I am, I can't be hypocritical, because it's a powerful message and a positive message that I'm sending out that people really relate to and could really vision and see, yo, he's talking real stuff. It's not no fake stuff. You understand? So
Absolutely.
it's just about unity. At the end of the day, it's just about unity. But if somebody is powerfully respected, what they need to do is always try to make unity and peace come between everyone. But everybody on this power, money is power. And when you get that, they forget the main thing that we really, really need, which is unity.
Hmm.
You know,
Wow. So, what inspired you to write that particular song? I know you mentioned because of the elections, but how music come to you? Is it natural, or is just a thought, and then you had to build from that thought?
well, it's natural and it's from experiences and seeing what's going on and what needs to be changed and all of that. You know, it's just different things. I like to do songs that's reality. I could do one and two songs that's happy and yeah. But at the end of the day, the reality songs, just like Michael Jackson songs, they last longer. You understand where I'm
Hmm.
coming from?
Absolutely.
You could long term. The music business is all twisted right now because you could do a song right now that says, hey, 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 has a nice beat to it, and it's a number one song. Then you sing a positive song that's successfully touching the ears for the kids that's growing up. That's going to be the leaders and the future of tomorrow, and they won't listen to it.
Wow.
But it's
So,
crazy
if you
because
get, is there a market for songs in that particular genre? Maybe it doesn't go to the top, but it sustains longer.
it sustains longer. But my thing is the DJs. Everybody want to play the songs that's happening. They don't want to play. They don't break records anymore. They play with other people is playing. Nobody sets trends anymore, which is sad to say, but it's reality over fantasy. I'm speaking like I see it. And the
Well,
major labels now, they come and empower everything, and it's all about selling the product. So if somebody like hey, and they buy a million copy of downloads of hey, that's what they're gonna invest their money in
why do you think that the trend now is more trend setting and then versus setting the trend?
because it's easier money, quicker money. Back in the days,
Wow.
used to have to work hard. Artists used to have to work hard in the studio by writing proper song that's meaningful. I could name a few artists that's been there from day one and they still here right now. Could they write songs that you could listen to the song? Even your great grandmother, if she alive, she could listen to the song and say, "I remember that," and it still has
Hmm.
effect on her. It brings her back to memory where she was at that time, and it's reality. A song's supposed to come on and leave an effect on you to make a difference in your life, and it's supposed to be positive. Every
Wow.
negative situation is supposed to turn it around.
Any particular artist that's stood out in creating who you are today?
Yeah, definitely. Prince, unique. Prince is one of them. Seal is another. Frank Sinatra, Kenny Rogers, Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, Michael Jackson, just to name a few. Smokey Robinson, Al Green. If we want to go real deep and way back, you know,
Wow.
like I said, a lot of songs is when you write a song, somebody's supposed to be able to feel that message that you're sending across within your heart and your soul and say, yo, I remember that. I remember that. I could feel that. I know somebody that's been through that situation. And we're not talking about ABC 1 2 3 rhyming ability. We talk about lyrical content.
Hmm. So the lyrical content, is it something with those particular writers that you just really is not the hook, but maybe the chord progressions or the chords itself? You know, we think about, if you're a keyboard player, you think about voicing, how things are voiced, and some of them will go straight to, hey, Monk wrote creative things, and he was not insane, but it was just things he heard that we didn't hear. It is something that you hear in each person's music. Say, oh, I love that chord progression, I love that voicing, I love that particular style. When you pick those particular artists, and they're all diverse, from Michael Jackson to, you mentioned a couple of others, Prince. What do you see in Prince music and Michael Jackson music on their writings that you just really, really say, hey, I have to go beyond that. I like this progression. I want to use part of that to create my style.
Well, when you listen to it, it's just unique. It's different. It's just totally different. It's just, all right, Michael Jackson will sing a verse that you've been down that road before, and Prince will sing a verse that you never been down that word before, but you thought of it, thought. You understand? So you combine it together, and that the attempt to combine wisdom and power has only really been successful, and then only for a short while, and then what? You feel me? It's just about being different and unique, but having a little bit of style and swag with a positive message behind it.
Is it all about the performance as well as the song?
Well, the performance is just a plus additionally to the song. Like me, anytime I'm doing a show or whatever, I try to do something out the box, so I always be remembered by it. But if you have a hot song and you're singing about something that's positive, automatically your reaction is going to come out emotionally within your vocals and your performance. It's like you singing to a girl saying, "I'm sorry about whatever I did, if you cheated, whatever you done to her," and you stand out, you serenade her. That emotional feeling gonna come out because that's something that your experiences are the best teachers in life.
Wow.
A lot of songs these days, people are talking about what they've seen and everything, but they actually didn't live it. Somebody who lived it is able to express it more because they've been through it.
Do you see that sometimes there's a disconnect between a artist's performance and just don't get the particular song, maybe not understand it, and they're singing it, but they're just not connected to it?
Yeah, because it's about the money. A lot of people is about the money. That's like somebody got a nice, great talent, and they're lyrically gifted by God to do something positive, and they doing strip club music and dirty sexual music, porn music, which is all good and dandy for the adult crowd, X-rated. I love that, no problem. But there's a time and place for everything. You can't have those type of songs. If you're lyrically gifted to be a gospel singer, be a gospel singer. Don't try to do other things than that what you was put on earth to do, because then everything will be crazy.
How do you know if that was your gift? Because you have a lot of people starting out to be a certain artist and they leave that particular genre to go to a larger genre in order to make more money, but they seem to grow and musically grow in that particular genre, and then all of a sudden then they decide to go back. For example, you take the gospel singer. Gospel singer will start with gospel, and then when they become professional, they actually go into a pop scene. Then sometimes they like to slide back, and there's usually a disconnect somehow with the performance, because I don't know if they feel in their heart, well, I know this is not really right.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not going to pick on anybody in particular, but you know that at certain moments on a particular artist, it just don't connect for some reason.
Because it wasn't meant to be. They're not supposed to be. They're not supposed to be in it. You got to do what you was put on earth to do, not what you're not supposed to do, and then everything will go right.
How do you know what you're supposed to do? Does it something in your senses you have to listen to? Say, this is your conscience.
Your conscience will kill you. You know what it is. When you look in that mirror, who you see? You see yourself. Yeah. So you can't hide from yourself. You can hide from other people. You can hide from other people, but your conscience gonna kill you every night. You go home and be like, Jesus, I'm just doing this for money. This ain't what I really want to do. So the best ain't gonna never come out of you unless you do what you want to do, because it starts with you and it ends with you. That's what you got to do.
We're going to take a break for a second and be back in a moment, and we're going to talk about your hit single that you have, Toast to the Dads. Be back in a moment. You listen to the Core Business Show.
You're listening to the Core Business Show, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. Apple Capital Group in Jacksonville, Florida, is a commercial lender that specializes in asset-based loans, equipment leasing and financing, invoice financing, commercial real estate loans, and asset-based financing in the U.S. and Canada. Apple Capital Group is a direct lender that lends on their private equity investment portfolio. 90% of most loans are decided within 2 hours, and vendor funding within 24 hours after documents are completed, with a one-page application. No slow no's, just a quick decision and a fast yes. To get more information about lending from Apple Capital Group, call 866-611-7457. That's 866-611-7457 to speak with one of our loan specialists. Or visit us right now at applecapitalgroup.com. Welcome back to the Core. Once again, here's Tim Jockey.
We're back with Casey Jockey. Casey, talk about your Toast to the Dads. Tell us how this song came to be.
Wow. Actually, my mother passed away in 1997 in a
I'm sorry
fatal
to hear
car
that.
accident. I lost 4 people in the car. That's why I named my label after her, Sweet Sadie's Records. In all respect due to her, you have a lot of mother songs out. And there are a lot of fathers that play mothers and fathers that don't get the credit that they should. So I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm going to do a Toast to the Dad song, a father song, for the fathers that don't get the credit that they really do. Because 9 times out of 10, yes, the woman, the females, yeah, the mother gets all the credit. The father don't get. They got some great fathers out there. So I'm saying,
Absolutely.
I have to do this because enthusiasm is excitement with inspiration and motivation, and it's just a pinch of creativity. And that's all that I had into that song. And I just sat, wrote it, done what I had to do to it to give the dads a warm, loving welcome that they are appreciated. No matter what, they're appreciated.
Wow. And in particular, kind of tell us a couple of verses that really speaks out to you in that particular piece.
The beauty of mom made me handsome. The beauty of mom made me handsome, while his teachings made me wholesome. That's another one. That's another line. Actually, one of the next one that really standed out and touched me was grew up like most kids, wishing to be like my dad. I always wanted to be like my dad when I was growing up because he was a powerful figure in Kingston, Jamaica at the time. And you know, every child always want to be like my dad. I thought my dad was Hercules, Superman, Batman, Steve Austin, $6 million man, everybody, superhero. Period. That's how I used to think of my father. Nobody ain't stronger than my father. My father's this, my father's that. So I'm like, okay, all right, cool. This song just falls into place, you know. So it's just about respecting each other and just showing love and appreciation to everyone, man. You know, that's what it's all about.
Wow. In your other titles that you have, we have a question here. What is the ingredient of making a hit song?
Ingredients of making a hit song is reality. You get to touch people's lives. You just gotta, you gotta either experience. When you experience something, it's better. Experience is the best teachers in life. You know.
Wow.
You just gotta sit, think, analyze, and do what you gotta do. Just let it all out. A lot of people hold back their emotional feelings, male or female. It's not about that. The message has to be powerful. Remember, if you have kids listening to your music and you singing a song that's saying to do right things, the kid respects you and you're blowing up in the world as an icon and a star, they're gonna follow your footsteps. But if you singing other negative stuff and you blow up in the world, they're gonna think, oh, he's a star, he's saying it, so why I don't do it? So, you know, we're very powerful. So you have to write with that content to aim to something that's gonna be long term, not short term.
On that same thought, 50 Cent was on one of the Oprah shows a few months ago, and he was talking about, you can see that he has really grown within the last 8 years as been out there in the public, and he talks about his music was embedded with him, with his life experiences, and he lived it, and he spoke the truth when he wrote those particular songs, and it made him who he is. But then he said, you know, as he grew with his business, you know, his soft drinks and his fashion merchandising, and he said, one of the things he's still involving as a artist and a musician. When you go to a certain level and your exposure is starting to change, does it get really harder? For example, if you come from a particular moment of time, and I think he wrote all those things in the moment of time, and he's really living that, and he's going by memory lane, will it be a particular time that then there'd be a disconnect? Because now, within a certain period of time, that your life has changed and your circumstances have changed, and those experiences are getting harder and harder to try to pull up and to write a song. Have you ever experienced or connect with that as your lifestyle change, your music will start to change? Yeah,
definitely. But in all of that said and done, if you're singing about negative things that you lived through, it's experience. It's experiences. So nobody can say, oh man, he just singing another negative song, man. Come on. Nah, he lived it. So he had 190% all right to sing about it because he experienced it. But if you didn't do it and you just singing it for a hype and some money, it's a whole gimmick. a different thing. You see what I'm saying? That's comedy. That's why a lot of people in the streets right now are mad with a lot of artists right now, because a lot of artists ain't been out there in the streets doing what they have been through and they singing about. You understand? And it's like a disrespect to the game when you come in with a gimmick to make money off of it, like you gimmicking people, telling people how they do they hustle in the streets from how they do their lively chores. You know, it's not cool. It's a gimmick. But if you lived it, you experienced it, you have all right to sing about it. And he's transformed into a beast right now, a better beast than he was before, which is all beautiful. It's wonderful, because that's what it's all about, changing negative to positive, keeping the negative energy away as much as possible and keep it positive. Right now, if you do 1 million positive things, you'll be on the news 20 times. If you do 5 negative things right now, you'll be on the news 1 million times. It's sad. It's backwards these days. It's backwards. That's how it is.
When you started your business, you're an independent label, and how did you market yourself to get your product out there?
But actually, I wasn't able to travel for a few years, and I was just in New York recording. People were sending me tracks from the islands, the UK, Europe, Germany, everywhere. And I was just recording on it. And being that I wasn't able to travel, I was doing videos. I'm the one that introduced the #1 class videos to Kingston, Jamaica, certain promotions, everything. Because every other artist was doing camera recorders. And I stepped up the game. I said, you know what? I'm a quality person. I'm going to go all the way out and give my fans, my people, good quality, what they need, what they paying for. And that's what I did. So visual all over the world. And I marketed myself that way until I was able to travel. Now I'm able to travel. I'm doing bigger and better things, you know, but by the grace of God, that's how, you know, nothing happens before the time. How soon, not now, comes never. That's how I look at it.
Was it really easy to, for example, when you actually bring your CDs to the marketplace, was that an easy process?
Not at all, because I'm even now I'm still grinding. I'm still doing what I'm doing. I don't change the method, because consistency is the greatest thing in life. And every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. And if you don't have that self-mentality to try and that high self-esteem, you ain't going to reach nowhere. So I'm always on it in that process that you just said, always.
How you like to be remembered in the future? And if you go back 100 years and they say who you are, how do you like to leave your audience with? And how do you want them to talk about you in 100 years from now?
Boy, that artist, he surely does get it in. He gives the best or nothing at all, and he shoots for the moon. And even if he misses, he lands among the stars at all times.
Wow. And is there a particular song that really speaks to, say, this is KC, this is me?
I got a few of them, but they're not released yet, because I have transformed from being a reggae dancehall artist to pop, R&B, urban right now. I have transformed a whole lot, because when I just started doing music, when I was going to junior high school, probably even before junior high school, elementary, I used to, you know, go on sound systems, rap on sound systems, all of that. I always been Americanized, so I always wanted to rap and, you know, use that bilingual, like the accent with the rapping and stuff like that. And I always wanted to do crossover stuff, but I grew up with a lot of American background and culture and Jamaican at the same time. But the Jamaican parties used to be the ones I used to go to the dance hall. I used to run away from school and home to go to after school. Run away literally to go on sound systems to DJ with my friends. So I always wanted to be that crossover artist who's living in America to make my Jamaican people where I'm from proud. But you know, like I said, nothing happens before the time, and you know, it's happening now, little but surely. And you know, I'm just appreciative of it all, thankful.
Right. Last question: when it comes to advice to people who want to get in this particular industry, or young folks who want to come up and be who you are, what advice do you have them, and any last words you'd like to leave the audience?
Oh man, how should I put this? All right, I'm just gonna say 2 things. It starts with you, it ends with you. Follow your dreams. You know, that's all it's about. And you're the how should I put this? You're the embodiment of the information you choose, right? So I'm trying to put the right. I'm trying to put the right words. I don't even know how to do it. How should I put it to these people? Dream as if you live forever. Live as you live if you'll die today. That's a great.
Perfect. Well, That's well said. I really appreciate it. Casey, thank you for joining the program today.
Anytime. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for the support and everything.
Thank you.
Everything that's doing great. All right.
We look forward to having you back in the future. Take care.
Definitely. Thanks. You too.
Okay. Bye. This has been another production of the Core Business Show. I'm Tim Jockey, your host. You can download this episode on iTunes and Blog Talk Radio. Everybody, thank you for listening and joining the program. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jockey. For more information about equipment financing and asset-based loans, visit our website, applecapitalgroup.com. That's applecapitalgroup.com. Or call us at 866-611-7457. We hope you'll join us for our next episode. And remember, you can always get to the core via iTunes. You'll find all our previous episodes there. And thanks again for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jockey.